Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scattered worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar, coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message and these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on a physical appearance or a look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. Shalom, once again. So basically, this lesson is going to be about the prophecy and the coming downfall of the biblical Edomites, okay, which is known as the so-called white race today, okay, but mainly starting with these elites. And when I say the elites, going into these central bankers, okay, that's ruling the earth today, okay, starting with, the top elite families such as the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, okay, the DuPonts, the Gettys, okay, the Oppenheimers, okay, the powers that be, okay, as we're in the time now of their rulership, and we're on the verge of them about to be taken out of power by the way of who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai, okay, when Yahweh Shai make his second coming, okay, by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs, which are the vehicles of the angels and the salvation of the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, which the elect considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved, and that's going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. Okay, because at this time, 2/3 of Negro, Latino, and Native American is going to be cut off and judged according to Zechariah chapter 13 and 8. Okay, but when it comes to Yahweh Shai returning, okay, he's going to return at the peak of the Third World War. Okay, which is going to lead to this place, America, ultimately being destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. Okay, which this place is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, and it's going to be destroyed and never inhabited again by mankind or nations. Okay, once the fire and smoke dies down. Okay, when it comes to Russia, China, okay, Iran, okay, NATO, okay, shooting their missiles upon this place. Okay, that's going to totally annihilate this place and leading to the time of Yahweh Shai's second coming. Yahweh Shai as well bringing fire by the way of the chariots, and he's going to fight against these nations' armies at the peak of the Third World War. Okay, and it's only going to take 1 hour for Yahweh Shai, okay, to take Esau Edom out of power, man. Okay, and their future is captivity. Okay, after the Lord delivered the elect of the nation of Israel, okay, and established the kingdom of Israel, which is going to be here on the earth, okay, in our land, okay, which we are the true inheritors of that land, okay, not those phonies over there that's occupying our land, which that land, by the way, going to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear missiles, courtesy to Russia, just for it to be cleansed, okay. But like I say, the difference between the two, okay, America going to be destroyed and never inhabited again by nations. It's going to become a desert, an amalgamate, okay, of wickedness, and the land of Israel going to be cleansed by missiles just for us to rightfully own our land again. And that time going to come, and then the time going to come when we're going to round up Esau Edom, starting with the elites of Esau Edom, that's going to escape the damnations of the missiles, okay, just to be reserved for captivity. And these heathen nations going into captivity as a whole, man. Okay, when it comes to Revelation chapter 13, verse 9, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16 and 17. Okay, because that's their future when it comes to these heathen nations. When Yahushua established the kingdom of Israel, okay, here on the earth, man. Okay, and you know, heathen nations going to be joint heirs with us. Okay, you got a lot of camps teaching that now. Mainly the latest Genesis, talking about the heathens going to be saved. They're going to inherit the kingdom. Okay, they're going to rule. They're going to be over Israel. Okay, now that's madness. Okay, because we the Lord's only chosen people. Okay, when it comes to the nation of Israel, and the first fruits when it start with the elect being set up to rule over the heathen nations, man. Okay, in the kingdom. But now we're in the time of, like I said, Esau Edom downfall. Okay, and in the process, as we're heading to their downfall, they ready to come in with that great wrath, man. When it comes to the NWO, okay. When it comes to eventually when they collapse the system here in America and worldwide, and come with uh, a economy, you know, collapse, okay, and come with a new digital way currency, okay, when it comes to a cashless society, okay, as they more and more are going to attempt and what's eventually going to implement the RFID micro, which is known as the mark of the beast, according to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, because that's going to be the next way of buying and selling, okay, according to the digital format, okay, or the money system, okay, and during that process, it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, okay, the time of anarchy, civil unrest, martial law, detention centers, okay, concentration camps, strict legislations, okay, as Esau Edom trying to fulfill his NWO, but Yahushua is going to return and disappoint them, man, okay? So I'm going to start with Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, and it is going into the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Okay, the hand going into the power. Okay, the power of the earth at this time is being ruled by Esau Edom, which is the wicked, according to Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, once again, and, you know, so that's the point I want to get, that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, and they say he covered the faces of the judges thereof, going into that we are the true judges. Okay, when it comes to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay, our true nationality being Hebrew Israelites. Okay, but how they cover the faces of the judges thereof by iconoclasm, whitewashing. Okay, the imageries. Okay, portraying themselves being Israel. Okay, pushing the image of the Lord being a so-called white man. Okay, when it comes to God, okay, and his son, who the world called Christ, being so-called white men. Okay, when it comes during the time of the Renaissance or the rebirth, okay, and still to this day, a lot of our people believe that who the world called Christ, okay, is a so-called white man, okay, and who the world calls God is a so-called white man, okay. You know, the angels, okay, the people of God, Israel, okay, but all that is false, man, okay, and they gave us false identities when it comes to being so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. But now we're reawakening to our true nationality, okay? Us knowing that we're Hebrew Israelites, okay? And the history prove that, archaeology prove that, the scholars prove that, okay? But mainly it's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai that have woken us up to our true nationality. And at the time, too, exposing Esau Edom when it comes to their true biblical nationality and their characteristics, okay, and eventually their future a judgment that Lord going to bring upon them, okay, right along with these heathen nations, because we find out now about all the nations, okay, when it comes to their biblical nationality, which is the spirit of the Lord, okay. Matter of fact, let's get this. And you're going to have Israelites scattered amongst the heathen nations, like I open up with, that take on the physical appearance of another nation due to the curses, okay? But your bloodline got to be determined by the seed of your father, okay? When it comes to Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, okay? Not your mother, okay? So you're going to have Israelites looking like other nations, Okay, and those that's of the elect going to be delivered and eventually going to be changed. Cause all Israel going to be changed according to what First Corinthians chapter 15, that chapter. Okay, going to how the nation of Israel going to be changed once the elect be beamed up into the chariots. Okay, also the hopeful elect. Okay, and we're going to inherit. Okay, the new bodies. Okay, the immortality bodies. Okay, but you got Israelites scattered amongst all the heathen nations. Okay, and vice versa. You got heathen nations that scattered amongst the Israelites, and those that bloodline. Okay, those that look like so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay, but um if they father is of heathenistic descent, okay, and they're gonna go into captivity, okay, because this is all about a bloodline, okay, not just the spiritual aspect of it, but a bloodline, okay, which the scriptures call them tears, okay. You got heathen nations that look like our people, okay, because once again it's all determined by the seed of your father, okay. Let's get this well, that's Isaiah Isaiah chapter 25 verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Yeah, going into the people true biblical nationality. Okay. When it comes to the nations, okay, because when it comes to this place, America is in the public school system. Okay, they push the history or nationality or color or black, Negro, African American, Puerto Rican, Mexican, when it comes to the typical, um, black and brown, okay? But they also push these other heathen nations, or these heathen nations as, Chinese, white, okay? Japanese, the Arabs, okay? The Africans, okay? But all nations got a biblical nationality. And the only ones that the Lord gonna deliver and have mercy upon and set up the kingdom upon is the nation of Israel. Okay, once again, that we find out, us, the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, that we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so all that exposure is coming out now. Okay, courtesy to the internet. Okay, and you always had books. Okay, scholars that put it in books, but now everything is on information age. Okay, technology worldwide, worldwide well. Okay, by the way of the internet. Okay, that's why Esau Edom being exposed, leading to his time uh, of him about to be taken out of power. Okay, let's get this. Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Going to Esau Edom. So it's a boundary that Esau Edom ain't gonna be able to pass. Okay? Especially when they come to the point they crash the system globally and trying to introduce the NWO and implementing the RFID micro. Okay? As Elder Apostle Tahar always been saying, okay, Elder Apostle Tahar from Great Millstone and the rest of the apostles, okay, elder apostles and bishops and the brother on down and those that true out there teaching. Okay, but starting with Elder Apostle Tahar, he always say that when Esau Edom fully implement the RFID micro, things really gonna go quick, okay, or move quick, okay, when it comes to Esau Edom in. Okay, we already about to head into 2026. Look how 2025 flew, okay, and so much happening within this year alone, okay, and now you got the information that a kingdom, or empire, okay, um, when it comes to the numbers of an empire, it only can last, it only lasts 250 years, okay, and America is on the verge of its 250 year of ruling, okay, since the time of, I believe, 1776 or 1777, okay, which that's the year that they talking about they declare independence but really the year when the elites trying to, push forth the NWO. Okay, so now they coming to the end. Okay, but they got a boundary that they cannot pass because it's already appointed to them by the Heavenly Father and His Son. Okay, Yahweh Shema Shai. Let's get this. This is Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Okay? But for a moment. This is Esau Edom moment. Okay? His season, his short season. I believe that's what Revelation chapter 21. Okay, going into it, he gonna continue for only come for a short season. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. And like I made mention of the Renaissance or the rebirth. Okay, because we know the time of the Dark Ages, or what they call medieval times. Okay, which that was Israelites, mainly the Southern Kingdom. Okay, so-called Negroes, or Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that ruled the Dark Ages for 1,000-year period over there in Europe. Okay, Esau Edom was in the caves. Okay, got pushed into the caves after the Roman Empire. Okay, that's where you have the term Caucasian that these Edomites put upon themselves. Okay, which the word Caucasian means cave dweller. Okay, they got pushed into the caves or the mountains. Okay, southern Russia. Okay, and they I think was Georgia, southern Russia, Georgia, and they came out of the caves. Okay, after the 1,000-year period, when it comes to after the end of the Dark Ages, as they say, or when Negro Latino Native Americans, mainly Negroes, that ruled, okay, during the Dark Ages, and Esau Edom came back into power, leading to the Renaissance or the rebirth when it comes to mainly the Borgia family. Okay, let's a lot of history. Revelation 20, I think it's 20. Here we go, Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay, Esau Edom is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, that's what First Thessalonians 2. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get it, man. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. And it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. And it's going to Esau Edom, being the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. And they ain't hard to tell, especially you're an Israelite and you understand these scriptures, man. Okay, who the Edomites are today, and they coming after the workers of Satan, man. Okay, and they being revealed, and there ain't gonna be no salvation for them either, man. Okay, they about to face harsh judgment, punishment. Okay, but that's the point I wanted to make. Going back to the Revelation chapter 20. So he's coming after the workings of Satan. And so when it comes to Revelation 20 and 7, when the 1,000 years are expired, that's that 1,000-year period of the Dark Ages, and they got expired. Okay, roughly around the time of the 13th century. Okay, the beginning of the 13th century. Okay, when the Borgia families came back into power, or the Edomites came back into power through the Borgia family, and it says Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Okay, the Renaissance. Okay, you can look that history up. And it says, it shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, and Gog and Magog, which is God, represent Russia today. Okay, over there, major Asia. Okay, and it says to gather together to battle, the number of whom as the sand of the sea, going to the time of the Third World War, which is going to lead to Yahweh Shema Shah putting the spirit on these Russians or Russia to shoot their missiles right along with all those that got nuclear capability. Okay, ultimately destroy this place of America. okay, which is going to lead to Esau Edom downfall, okay, and leading to the time of Yahweh Shah returning and bringing deliverance to the nation of Israel, okay, and all these heathen nations going into captivity, okay, even the Russians, okay, because they're Edomites, okay, but the Lord was using these Edomites to destroy each other. Whatever Revelation 6 and 4, okay. When it comes to matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and horse representing power. Okay, and that red horse represent, Esau Edom, because Esau Edom, or Edom means red. Okay, when it comes to the Edomites and their power. Okay, when it comes to the powers that that's those these heathen nations that's in power when it comes to the Edomites. Okay, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword, and that's Esau Edom blessed, the sword. Okay, and it come in the form of mainly his military might, but in this case going into the missiles. Okay, that Lord gonna put the spirit on these Russians, Edomite Russians, to shoot their missiles upon this place, America. Okay, the other counterpart of Edomites. Okay, here in America. Okay, NATO, which is the European system. Okay, majority of them are Edomites. Okay, they're gonna turn on this place, America, shoot their missiles, according to Revelation chapter 17. Okay, and I believe 10. Okay, the beast turning on the whore. Okay, the whore representing America, and the beast representing NATO and the EU. Okay, NATO in the form of their military might that's gonna turn on this place and shoot their missiles. Okay, we seeing the infighting in the division amongst these NATO members now, and America being the ally. Okay, so that's it on that. And so we coming to the time of the downfall, man. Let's get this. So it said the triumph of the wicked is short. Okay, after they trying to establish the NWO or attempt. Okay, let's get this. Job chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in strays. And we seeing that now. Esau Edom power. That's why, like I said, they got so much division amongst each other. Okay, so they're in strays. And every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Okay, that word wicked there, you go into the blue letter in the Hebrew, okay, is going to the laborers, the workers, okay, all the laborers, okay, these heathen nations that ready to, outside of Esau, Edom, ready to come against this place, America, and these heathen nations ready to fight against, small hats, okay, like, example, like the Chinese, the Arabs, okay, those nations over there ready to come against the West, America, okay, and the small hats, okay, all nations ready to come against Esau, Edom. Like I say, even amongst themselves, they got infighting. And it says, and when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Bashim Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay, going into eventually little missiles, destroying this place, America, and that's going to lead to Esau Edom downfall. Okay, and Yahweh Shai and the chariots. Okay, coming against the fight against these heathen nations, starting with Esau Edom. You can read that in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, starting at around 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. Okay, Revelation chapter 19 and 11. Okay, plenty of scriptures, man. Going to how Yahweh Shah is going to return to take Esau, Edom, and these heathens out of power at the peak of the Third World War. Okay, so that's it on that. Let's get this. Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise, going to Esau, Edom. Okay? as they trying to form the NWO, the Lord gonna disappoint them. Okay? He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Yeah, so the Lord Yahweh Shemal Shah set up Esau, Edom in power, okay, just to show his power, okay, to take them out, just like ancient Egypt, okay, and any other kingdom that the Lord set up, okay, to oppress the nations or oppress Israel, and the Lord eventually took them out of power, man, okay, and eventually Yahweh Shemal Shah was magnified. His name was glory, okay, and at this time the Heavenly Father and the Son gonna be glorified. Okay, when it comes to the great destruction and the great salvation, okay, of the Israelites, man, and the downfall of these heathen nations. They said they meet with darkness in the daytime and group in the noonday as in night. Yeah, because they going into the NWO. Okay, they got division amongst each other as the Lord got them in a state of confusion. Okay, and that's why Revelation 12 and 12 said that knowing that he had but a short time left, he's going to come down with great wrath. Okay, but the Lord going to disappoint him. Okay, let's get on with that. Okay, so we coming in the time, man. So while you saw Edom making his move, looking more, slack, okay, with this whole NWO, with this, double F events, orchestrated events, okay, as they trying to push, more a dictatorship, okay, more of the democracy, all that madness that they pushing, okay, but people are being exposed to it, okay, and that's why leading to their downfall, they being exposed, okay, and eventually how Bashmal Shah gonna return and take them out of power. Psalms chapter 21 verse 11, for they attend evil against thee, they imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. Yeah, because they hold NWO, they want to get rid of the existence of the God of the Bible and trying to cut us off as a people. Psalms the 83rd chapter, okay, going to that, okay, that's part of the NWO. But Yahweh Shemal Shah is with the Israelites, stung with the elect, okay, and against these heathens, okay, and that's soon going to show, okay. So as they're trying to form the NWO, bring a one world government, one world religion, one world economy up under that RFID micro, okay, all of it's going to be a disappointment, man, okay, and they're going to go into captivity when it comes to these, starting with these Edomites of the elites and the heathen nation that remain, okay, and the heathen nation that perish on this side, they're going to come back in the kingdom through the heathens that remain, okay, they're going to be reborn in the kingdom to be service. And the 2/3 of our people that perish on the side, they're going to come back in the kingdom, being sons and daughters of the elect, okay, which is reincarnation in a roundabout way, okay? But more and more, man, we coming to the downfall of Esau Edom, okay? And so they go ahead and move as quick as possible, because the quicker you move, the quicker your downfall, man. And then and the quicker of Yahweh Shah returning as we hasten the day of the Lord, okay? So all for us that's all the hopeful elect, that's in the faith, is all about just enduring, okay, watching, measuring the time, praying, okay, and pushing the word, and serving Yahweh Shema Shah, that we be covered, okay, ahead, and the Lord have mercy upon us and deliver us, man. Okay, when it comes to us of the hopeful elect, okay, because 2/3, like I said, they're gonna be judged, and these heathens, they definitely gonna be judged, man, and their future is captivity, starting with the Edomites, man. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here. I pray that lesson will edify until next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.